Hi everyone. So yesterday we did about Aristotle. Today we'll be starting with the concepts. Uh, Four of them deserve our special attention, and these are today we'll be talking about mimesis and catharsis. So mimesis, the most commonly accepted English equivalent of this Greek term is imitation. So mimesis is a Greek term which means imitation. In the critical or literary context, the word the word imitation carries a special meaning. The term was peculiar to Greek thought. The term fine art is a later coinage for this. The word mimesis. The Greek phrases were imitative arts and modes of imitation. The concept of imitation is central to Aristotelian logic, even as it is to the Platonic, but with an essential difference, as we all saw it before. When we were studying Plato, Plato said the work that are written by the writers, poets, they are third-hand distortions. That means he did not promote that much to imitation. Let's see about Aristotle here. The Platonic view, an ideal archetypal order, the Platonic view, as we saw earlier, is that the world is an imperfect reflection of an ideal archetypal order. The word is a lower order of reality and poetry, being an imitation of an imitation, is thrice removed from reality. Yes, that is what we read about Plato. Hence, Plato banished poets for his ideal commonwealth. Aristotle rejects Plato's doctrine of ideas, whereas for Plato, imitation implies copying and hence trivial and insignificant. It is creative and dynamic for Aristotle. The artist is the maker, and his creations are imitations of human action, human character, and human emotions. So, where Plato said that it just implies copying, so Aristotle gave it a different meaning. For him, artist is the maker. Even if we are copying something, it's the creation. So, because we don't copy everything, correct? We just copy a few things that we personally like, and sometimes it's also innovative. But yeah, it is representation and not just copying that he has in mind, not a representation of men as they are. The artist imitates things as they ought to be, yes. And so, art is a free and voluntary activity of the human consciousness, free from any utilitarian motives. Arts are different from crafts. Again, imitation bears relationship to learning and acquiring knowledge. We derive pleasure from the artistic representations of even the most repelling and distinguishing of things. We see into the life of things. Imitation leads us from the particular to the universal, which is how the experience in the learning takes place. It is a clarification of the particular representation which reveals us universal laws of nature. Art is a source of insight into life. Mimesis also implies the active mode of constructing an art object according to the laws of probability and necessity. Internal coherence by which a universal form is imparted to the works. So, taking the example, yes, in this, uh, whatever we have read till now, Aristotle has explained that how imitation and how copying works. So he is just not like it's the copying only. It's the innovation, it's the different ideas that have been put, the conscious decision that one is doing. Like we see these days, we've got many podcast channels, right? In YouTube, there are many of them are taking podcasts. So the idea came from one, whosoever it might be in earlier days, but now when they are copying, they are doing it with different ways and in different manner. So yeah, they do have their own ideas. Aristotle gave a new dimension to the word imitation. It does not mean photographic reproduction. It is often said that drama holds the mirror up to nature. The image of nature we see in drama is very different from the image of ourselves that we see in a mirror. The kings we come across in history books are different from the kings we see in Shakespeare's plays. Poetic imitation for Aristotle is an imitation of inner human action. So, yeah, this was about mimesis, Aristotle's one concept. I was about to record catharsis also today, but sorry, my phone's video is showing I can only record of 6 minutes and 43 seconds. I don't have that much of space, so today I'll be doing something and then I'll be start recording more. Thank you.